I lived there for a year actually, but it's the traffic's so bad. I mean, it's really bad.
Okay, so
Can I just see?
I have gotten the go-ahead that we are live and on camera. So again, welcome to New Knowledge, and Josh Mancuso is here with us today, and Josh is one of our favorite speakers. He'll entertain you and tell you how to build your own brand. So Josh Mancuso.
Thank you, Miss Kathy. Please, no need to stand up and applaud. You guys just stay right where you're at. It's fine. No worries. How's everybody doing? Everybody's feeling good? Tim Flanagan's here, so I'm happy. All right. 12 o'clock. This is going to be a short one. It's going to be a short one today. 15 minutes, I'm out of here. Just kidding. I do want to know who I'm talking to. So can we go around really quick? This is the standard deal. Everybody go around, tell me your name and what you do, maybe where you work, what you do. And then if you want to add something about personal branding, if you've thought about it or not thought about it or don't care or you're forced to be here or you really care about it or whatever it is, just let me know.
Tim Flanagan, also known as the video guy. I am an event videographer, video marketing professional, specializing in live streaming. And to give a good testimony on personal branding, I've been in this business 10 years, and one of my very first clients called me the video guy. I have milked that for all it's worth for the last 10 years.
That's good. Good stuff.
My name is Amanda Gardner. I am the Director of Career Services at Emory and Henry College.
Yes.
And I want to spread your message to my students.
All right. Good
Via
deal.
me.
Via you. Yes, you're the channel. Okay.
I am Sylvia Robbins. I do financial planning with Edward Jones. Started the business about 2 years ago, so working on still building up that personal brand and getting one for myself and my business.
And an Emory.
Yes, and an Emory
Yeah.
alum, so.
Go Wasps.
I am Kim Messer-Smith. I'm a breakthrough specialist. I coach people to overcome their fears and doubts and limiting beliefs to take their careers to the next level.
Very cool. Okay.
I'm Brenda Gillespie. I work at Christian Crisis Center, and we're kind of going through a rebranding on a larger scale with the centers.
Oh, really? Okay. Like new logo, new look and feel, website, all that kind of stuff? Or what do you mean by rebranding?
Slowly getting into that, but more of community involvement.
Okay.
Kind of who we are.
Yeah.
Getting
Okay.
that out there.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Hi, Angela Swetkowski. I work for Old Dominion University in community engagement. My family has a local bakery I'm stuck with as well. And
Yep,
I'm
yep,
also
yep.
a licensed esthetician, so I'm doing that on the side.
Man, you need some more things to do. You're not busy enough. Three kids, yeah. Yep. That's, I know what having 3 kids is like because I had 2 and thought this is okay. Then I had a third and was like, ah! Yeah. So, someone once said, you want to know what it's like to have 3 kids. That third kid, imagine you're drowning and someone hands you a baby. That's what it feels like. So.
I am Greg Lilly. I'm a freelance writer and author, and I've got 4, 5 novels out, and my next one's coming out in June. So
That's cool.
I'm trying to figure out how to market that.
What kind of, and you, that's right. What kind of novels? Stuff based in this region, or just
The new one
other
is,
stuff?
yeah,
Okay.
it's a mystery set here in Richmond, Leedsburg, Charleston, so all around.
Yeah. Has anyone here read his novels? My gosh, people. We're going to change that today. Okay.
Should have brought them.
That's right. All right, cool. We'll go back here.
I'm Holly Deal. I'm a massage therapist. It's my full-time job at the Martha. But I have kind of a side gig where I make pregnancy announcements and cards and things like that. And I have a website with blogs. So I kind of want to, take that further to where it's a major part of my life.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm Jean Gallagher. I'm the administrative assistant here at Virginia Valley School District.
And I'm Kay Stout. I'm a regional trainer for All Community Resources, but I'm also an independent trainer and consultant for Spring Fed
sorry, you will be sorely disappointed at the end. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm Nita Farmer. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We're always looking at different ways to increase the brand and get the word out for what we do.
Yeah, we do.
I'm Samantha Tedder. I'm the administrative assistant with the Washington County Chamber, and I echo what Nita said.
What she said.
What she said.
And I'm Sandy Ratliff. I'm with Virginia Community Capital. I'm also Josh Mancuso's roadie, and I also do the live streaming things behind the scenes here.
There's always one in every group, isn't there? Golly. All right, put your phone on silent or vibrate. My apologies. Okay, so yeah, this will be a relatively short session compared to what I do. A lot of times when I speak to you guys or to a lot of groups, it's about video production, video marketing, how to use video. And I will actually touch on that a little bit because I can't get through a session without at least talking about video in some way. But it'll be a little bit shorter because I want us to be able to have some conversation as well. And I always say that before I give a talk. I'm like, I'm going to try to keep it short, and then we'll have some conversation and make it conversational. And then I talk for an hour and it's over, and I'm like, oh, sorry. But this time, I've only got like 11 or 12 slides, so we will go through them relatively quickly. Personal branding. All right. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about me. Most of you, some of you know me. If you've seen me present before? Anybody? I know there's those people. Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for coming and listening. So, again, I want to open the door to two-way conversation, so please feel free to talk back to me. I mean, don't talk back to me. That's rude. But I mean, speak to me as well as I to you. Tim, conversation. Yeah, okay. Okay, some things about me. My company is called Mancuso Entertainment. I don't know why, other than that's my last name. But entertainment, I entertain people. And we do video production, film production. I just directed a documentary last year. We got another documentary coming up on the horizon that I can't tell you much about, but it's going to be pretty cool, and you're all going to be interested in it because it's got something to do with our region. Well, it's in my region. I'm from Johnson City, so a little bit further that way. But I do a lot of brand storytelling. So video marketing for large companies is how I pay the bills and pay my people, and then I work hard on the side to make films. I'm an actor, so I find myself traveling to Knoxville and Asheville for different roles, small roles typically. Like some of you, I'm an entrepreneur, so I have my own business, obviously. Haven't always had that. I've worked in a number of different fields. I worked in church ministry actually for a while. Came out of that and started using my degree from Emory and Henry College. I graduated in 2003 with a mass communications degree, got a master's in leadership later from a school in Atlanta, and started really using my skills in production and marketing. I've worked as a marketing director for a nonprofit. I worked for an ad agency for a time, and so I've kind of built up a good just bucket of tools that I feel like I can use. I kind of call myself a kind of jack of all trades, master of none. Keyword master of none. Kind of pretty good at a lot of stuff, but I'm not like awesome at one thing. It's funny, my wife is really, really good at just like one or two things, like really good. And I'm like, okay at like a lot of stuff. So hopefully you'll get some value today. Yeah, my wife Anna, 13 years we've been married. We've got 3 daughters, 10, 8, and 2, almost 3. Just to give you some insight, a little bit more just about me, and this is me at for the documentary that I directed last year. My wife in the blue dress, and that was at the screening we had in L.A. We had a premiere in L.A. for the film. It was a documentary centered around this guy, Jeremiah, who he and I become good friends, and we are now working on more projects together. But that is us. And here is my family. That's my beautiful wife. And this is Ella and Amelia and Sophia. And in this picture, you can see their personalities, actually, who they are in this one picture. Amelia's the dancer, like, always ready to smile. She's like all about it. Sophia's just kind of a rascal. She's cute as could be. And Ella's the shy one who just stays close to mommy. But I share all this with you because, I'm talking about personal branding, so I feel like you should know me a little bit, and that's what I want to get to as we go through it is that your audience should get to know you in some way. And so hopefully now that you know a little bit about me, you either like me a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on what I share with you. But hopefully a little bit more. You feel like you have some kind of connection with me. You know a little bit about my history, my work history, where I went to school, my family. I'm a family man. My faith's important to me. I love film, all those things, so you kind of at least know something about me. I'm going to ask you to do this. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, even right now. Let's go. Get out your phones. I want you to follow me right now on Instagram. If I'm going to talk about personal branding, I'm going to ask you to follow me and my personal brand. Tim's, a lot of you, we're already connected. But Instagram, it's just at Josh Mancuso. It's really simple. It's my name. Twitter is the same. Facebook's at the Josh Mancuso because some guy already took the good one, Josh Mancuso. There's some guy's a jiu-jitsu guy out of Florida. I've followed him a couple times. I don't mess with him, though, because he knows jiu-jitsu, so I'm just going to let him have it. It's fine. But I would love for you to follow me there. That would be really nice for me, but also hopefully you might actually learn a few things if I am doing my job. Okay. Any questions so far about me or about what we're going to talk about? No? We're ready to go. All right. Okay. If you don't know why you need to have a personal brand, this is why. Having a personal brand builds trust with your audience and helps position you as an authority and expert in your industry. Whatever it is you do, whether you have your own business, whether you work for another company, an educational institution, or if you have a bakery, or if you're an author, whatever it is, your personal brand, not just your business brand, your personal brand builds trust with your audience. That's really, really important to build trust because the audience is not going to listen to you that much if they don't trust you. And you want to position yourself as an authority and expert in your industry. What's your thoughts when you think about personal branding? What comes to your mind? Like, what do you think when you say, I need a personal brand? What does that mean? I mean, does anything comes in your head like, well, it means this or that?
I think a colorful logo, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's part of it. And you can see my little JM brand down there. It's not colorful, but it's just a easy thing to put on there.
I think what differentiates you from other people.
Yeah.
I think association. So when you hear Josh Mancuso, you know what pops in your head, entertainment, filmmaker, or whatever.
Goofy.
That's
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think all those answers are right. And I think what I would say is that your personal brand is separate from your business brand. It has to be somewhat separate. They cannot exist as one and the same all the time. Even if you're an author, I think there's some separation between business and personal. Now for you, and maybe even for Tim, but for you for sure, it's so intrinsically linked, your personal brand and your business brand, that it's hard to separate them, but I think there is some separation of here are my books, and here is my writing, here's my product, but here's me. And so no matter what you do, there is that separation, but they are absolutely linked. And so to what you said, I would say, yeah, what is your personality? What makes you unique? That's what you want to think about. What kind of personality do you have? You might say, well, I'm not that exciting, or I'm not funny. I don't like to listen to myself talk, like you do, Josh. You might say all these things, but you still have a personality of some kind, and it's relatable. And you want to share that, whatever it is. Whoever you are, capitalize on that, okay? And what makes you unique? How are you different than other people? What traits do you have that even if it's stuff that other people have too. I mean, there's other people that are funny. I'm not the only funny person in the world. There's other people that are goofy and funny, but I just use that because it's just my natural personality. So what do you have that you can leverage? Who is the face of your business? So this is actually a question I want you guys to answer. Who is the face of your business? You're the face of your business, right? You're the face of your business. For your bakery, are you the face of your business? If you were to say there's a face to your business, who would you say?
My sister-in-law.
Your sister-in-law. She's kind of the face?
She does the baking.
Okay. What about one of your other 10 jobs?
As an esthetician.
It's you, okay. And then what was the other one?
Marketing for ODU.
Marketing for ODU, that's right. Which that's marketing is ODU is the face, but there's still a personal brand and think involved in there. Somebody else tell me, what else do you think, who is the face of the company you work for, even if it's not you? President of the university? Maybe? I mean, that's of the entire institution, but you're involved. What's your role again?
Career services.
Career services. Okay.
Yeah,
So explain to me in 30 seconds what you do. What's your day look like? It's probably different.
I work with students from start to finish, whether they're looking to what can I major, or to explore what can I major in,
Yeah.
finding experience, and then
Okay.
Whether that be internships or jobs on campus or part-time jobs, and then help them to then navigate job search or graduate school search.
Okay.
I'm changing their lives.
You are, yes, you are. Absolutely. So there's a personal brand element to what you do, I think, but then also, like you said, you're obviously trying to empower the students to have a personal brand for their potential careers going forward. Okay. Very good. Well, then for them, they're not business owners. They're not the face of their business. They're the face of their resume. They're the face of, they're going to have to build a personal brand that people are going to latch onto and like. Yeah, okay. So I said, even if you aren't the business owner of your business, you still have a personal brand of some kind. I think if you work in a large organization, you might have your own kind of personal brand that people look at you, they know who you are, what you're like. And so you're going to have your own logo for yourself and have that type of thing, but you are your own brand of some kind if you're working in a large organization. That brand, I think, then dictates whether or not you get promotions, whether or not things that happen within your corporate life. Your brand kind of dictates a lot of that, good or bad. And so brand is equal to reputation, what people think about you, those types of things. And while you can't control all that stuff, you can control the image that you put forth. So even today, you mentioned I dressed up for you today. Yeah, today I purposely wore what I normally wear throughout my day. I didn't dress up like with a tie and a jacket. Sometimes I'll do a jacket or something like that. But I was like, I'm going to go as my person. You can find me in pants and some kind of sneakers and a t-shirt. That's me day in, day out. And so I wanted to be real with you. So this is who I am. This is who I am normally. I'm not going to, just dress up for this, although I usually do, a little bit more at least. Okay, how we doing? Okay so far? Are we in agreement of this? Personal brand is important, right? Okay, we're going to get into the how just a little bit. So this is what I would want to tell you, is that you should wake up every day and ask yourself this question: how can I help people? If you want to establish a personal brand, if you are a student looking for a job and you make it all about you, they're going to see right through that. How can I help you in your company? These are the things, these are the skills I have, and I can meet your needs. This is how. How can I help people? Because what happens with personal branding, man, and we see it all the time, and I have to think about it myself every time I post something or I'm doing something, it's like, how much of this is just to make me feel good about, ooh, look how cool I am, or look what I'm doing, everybody, or is it, I want to help people, I want to help you with whatever it is. And so you're never going to go wrong saying, I helped somebody today. You're never going to think, well, yeah, I posted this thing to help someone, I wish I hadn't done that. No, you're never going to say that. You're always going to, so I would encourage you to give away stuff for free. One of the guys that works with me, and he's probably not watching this. If he is, it's okay. I'll apologize to him later. But he always says, he's always kind of wanting me to be careful about how much I just give away to people. He's like, we can't, if I teach everybody how to make videos on their own, I'll be out of a job, right? So I've got to, at least at some point, pull back. But at the same time, I don't want to hold back. Like, I want to just give the information away. And so I want to encourage you to do the same. Whatever it is, whatever you know, your expertise, however you connect with your audience, with your viewers, give it away. Give it away. Now, I mean, in your case, you have to charge for the things you give away to an extent, but you think about, what can I give away to a certain point? What can I give to people? What value can I add to them? So you wake up every day and say, how can I help people? How can I add value to other people? Whether it's an encouraging word, or if it's something in your industry and you can share that with other people, you do that. What are some of the challenges that you face? Who's your audience, I guess? When you say, okay, well, I'm thinking about branding, my personal brand, you're trying to, what's your objectives, I guess, from that standpoint?
Well, it's to reach readers, people that would buy the book.
Potential readers?
Yes.
Okay.
And if it's a mystery, you want to make sure they're mystery readers or they read other things like yours.
Yeah.
And then I've got some nonfiction, I've got some how-to in writing.
Yeah.
So, aspiring writers as well.
Okay. I mean, I think your situation is certainly unique because a lot of people don't see the authors of the book, right? You buy books all the time, you don't know what the author looks like. It's like radio DJs, you don't know what they look like, you just hear them all the time. With authors, you just read them all the time, and so I can see there's some separation there of like, do you feel the need to be more visible yourself?
I do, yes. Especially on the other side with the freelance writing, because it's usually business writing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
The mistake I'm seeing a lot of people do, especially on Facebook and things like that, is they get into non-writing related issues.
Yeah.
They choose a side, so they've just alienated half the readers.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. That's a great point. I actually had that in my notes to talk about was your social life is on Facebook. Now for me, I have a Facebook profile that's personal that people can add me as a friend, and I have a Facebook page. And I try to live there with all of my content and all the things I do for business so that I can just do family things and friends with the Facebook profile. Instagram is it's all business for me. I posted pictures of my children for a while because it was sort of that's how we got started, years ago. And I've literally gone back and taken all my pictures of my children off because I have people that follow me that I don't know. They're from all over the country, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I'm not comfortable with this. So I created this pseudo name, a whole other name where I'm posting pictures of my family, and it's only for like close family members to see because I don't want weirdos looking at pictures of my kids, and so I've pulled that back. But for you, I would try to see if there's a way to separate those things, and it depends on what you do. And for your students, they need to think about social media outlets and how they can leverage them and how they can avoid, tweeting about Cardi B and instead start talking about their, career paths and what they're interested in. And politics is an absolute no-no. I mean, if you, anything that's polarizing, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it because you'll alienate half of your people, your potential people that may want to work with you. But if you're out there talking about your political views, they're not gonna want to work with you. So, good call there. Okay. So to start with the mindset of how can I help people, not how can I be more visible. I think that's got to be in your mind. I mean, we're no dummies. That's part of it is you being visible, but the motivation and as you're thinking about what you're posting and how you're presenting yourself, how can I help people? What can you do to help them? All right, so my first way is through video. And these are all videos that you can do on your own. Do not require a professional. Sorry, Tim, you and me, we're out of a job at this moment. But vlogs, Instagram stories in particular, Facebook Live, how-to videos and tips, create your own one-minute show. These are just some ideas I had. And all through that, you were thinking, what makes me unique and how can I help people? What makes me unique and how can I help people? That's your overarching theme all the time, no matter what you're doing. How am I unique? How can I help people? So vlogs. Has anybody ever done a vlog? That's literally, I'm about to sit down here in a second because I like this intimate setting. Can I sit down, Sandy? Are you going to be able to see me?
We will take some off your price rate.
Right, for sitting? Yeah, that's right, I know. So it's as simple as right here, you're holding your phone and you're talking about something. So let's see. Remind me what you do again? Crisis Center, okay. That's a tough one, I'm not going to lie. I'm here racking my brain like, how can I be relevant to what she does? That's a tough one. from a personal branding standpoint, especially. And what did you say you do?
I do just digital art.
Digital art. Yes. Yes. Okay. And you do arts and crafts. That's right. Okay. Okay. So, are there tips that you could share with people that would be helpful? Like, who's your audience? Do you think? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so they pay you to create different.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay.
I make my credit announcements, cute little
Yeah.
ways to get, to your friends or family or whatever, to say I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Is essentially, where I make money.
Yeah.
Or, watching it bigger and grow.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So I mean, some ways you could add value would be like, here are 3 things to think about when you are planning a baby shower or something that's relevant. Forgive me if I'm off the base, but something that's relevant to what you do. Here are 3 things to think about. Always, if you literally wrote on a piece of paper, here are 3 things to think about regarding, and then X, Y, Z, just start listing out different things that you think, if you were your viewer or your customer, what are they thinking? What are they wanting to know? And literally write those things out. Like for me, I know it's, here are 3 things you need to know about, I could say personal branding. I can list those out and put those. Here are 3 things you should know about shooting video with your iPhone. Don't do this, do this. Those are things I'm willing to share with everybody. So what is it your audience would like to hear that would help them, and start listing those things out. And then from there, you can literally just say, hey guys, it's me, and I'm just talking today. I want to tell you that here are 3 things you should think about when you are planning a blah, 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 blah. And you just go, record it, turn it off, and you're done. You post it, and it's out. Does that make sense? Okay. Because I think that if our goal is to be, trustworthy and honest and authentic, which is what you're going to have to be, is authentic. If you try to create a persona, that's no good. Don't be somebody you're not. Don't create a persona. Just be you, and raise your hand if you struggle with holding up the camera and being on video. Yeah, lots of hands. Okay, it's tough. It is tough, but you just have to start doing it. And the thing is, people want to see you. You think that maybe they don't, like that nobody wants to see my face talking about this. They do. They want to hear from you. They follow you for a reason. I mean, they want to hear from you. So you're going to have to just start. Maybe you can practice in the mirror a couple times and just start talking. And in reality, you're going to want to break down everything that's wrong with you. But don't do that, because no one else is doing that to you. When you see somebody talking on video, hopefully you're not looking at all their flaws and things. You're listening to what they're saying, and like, oh, that's cool, and then you go on. And I think you need to think about it the same way. You are the authority, and the more you do this, the more you're going to position yourself as an expert in your industry. And so it's called the imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough to be on camera. No one's going to want to hear from me. I don't like the way I look. My hair's not done just right. I don't have enough makeup on. You just got to do it. You just got to turn on the phone and you got to do it.
Just hit record.
Just hit record, man. Just hit record. So,
go-to platform for vlogs?
Yeah, for vlogs, what I would do is I typically would record just a video on my phone and then upload it to Instagram, upload it to Facebook natively to each place, and then maybe if you have a YouTube channel, upload it to YouTube. And you don't have to promote it on YouTube. Just simply have it there, and let it just live there as your base, home base. But Instagram stories used to be 15-second videos that you could record, and then it would stop. Now it just continues to loop. After every 15 seconds, it just keeps going. So essentially, you can just create however long of a video you want. I'm not sure if it maxes out at 30 or 60 seconds. I don't know that right now, but you can go for at least a little bit on there. But even still, I would even, you can even do the video, then upload it to your Instagram page. So Instagram has your photos and things you can upload or your videos. Then there's stories, right? So stories are valuable because they're there for 24 hours and they go away. And you say, how is that valuable? Well, they don't go away for you. They're kept in an archive in Instagram. So you can always go back and use them, download them if you want to, and reuse them. But for your viewers, they go away in 24 hours. But that's good because people, the good thing about Instagram stories is this. You can, if you are nervous about talking on camera, it's gone in 24 hours. And you don't have to live with it forever. And so that's actually kind of nice. There's been times when I've recorded something and gone back and watched it and been like, oh my, nope, gonna delete that one. I didn't realize I looked like an idiot. And then done it again. But most of the time I just let it go because I know it's gonna be gone in 24 hours. And the other good thing about Instagram stories is you can see who has looked at your story. And I love that because I'll look at it and say, oh wow, like there's some people that I would love to be watching my stuff that's watching my stuff, like, you know, in terms of business. I'm like, this is great, which then makes me a little more like, gosh, I need to make sure what I'm putting out is, you know, is good. But you'll get to see who's looking at your stuff. And I think that's helpful to even help you craft your message a little bit. So all these people, you know, when I post this kind of stuff, I'm getting more, you know, looks. When I post this kind of stuff, I'm getting less looks. And you can sort of see how that's going and measure that. I mentioned Facebook Live because I have a good friend, Mickey Trivet, and he is always doing Facebook Lives. And he gets in the car and he puts his phone up on the thing and he turns it on and does a Facebook Live and he talks for a minute or two. He used to call it Mickey's Minute or something like that. And I used to love watching this stuff. He doesn't do as much anymore, but he does consistently do Facebook Live videos. And he's a little bit, you know, he kind of talks about a wide range of things. He's just talking about life most of the time. But it's always, he's a great character, and so it's good, you know, listening to him. I have another friend who is the executive director of the Isaiah 117 house in Elizabethton. They are a home for children, foster children in transition, and it's a really great organization. And she, every Sunday, does a Happy Sunday, here's the update for this week, this is where we are, this is the money we've raised, these are the kids whose lives are impacted, and just goes, it's usually 5 or 6 minutes long, and it's a live video. And she's getting like thousands of views a lot of times because she's just being herself. She's just talking. It's not like she's producing something, and people love that. All of this is an effort for people to get used to seeing you, all right? For you to get used to doing it, and for people to start seeing you as an expert in your industry. You have to be seen as an expert in what you do. Because you know what? If you say enough times, I'm an expert, I'm an expert, I'm an expert, eventually they're going to say he's an expert, he's an expert, he's an expert. All right? So you continue to do that, and it will greatly benefit you, I think.
How do you feel about Instagram TV?
Yeah, Instagram TV, absolutely. That's the longer form content. So you can, you know, put long episodes up there. I think Instagram TV is slow to catch on for a lot of people, but I've used it a couple times, but not a lot. I'm finding more value in the stories and in the posts right now. But if you do have a 2 or 3 minute long video that won't go to Instagram 60 seconds, this is as long as you can go on Instagram. But so if you have a 2 or 3 minute video, you can put it on Instagram TV, put it there. You know, there's no reason not to. So if you've got something that you post on Facebook and other places, go ahead and put it on Instagram TV, absolutely, because somebody will see it. I mean, somebody will watch it. But that's, I would say in the priority list, I'd keep that down for a little while until you really start cranking them out. I say create your own 1 minute show. That was sort of in reference to Mickey and what he does, and just, you know, what is something you could do daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, that's just here. I'm back with this week's, you know, episode of 1 minute of whatever that you want to talk about that's related to what you do that can help people. Again, how are you unique? How can you help people in 1 minute? And I mentioned the how-to videos and tips. I think those are extremely important. And Facebook Live, Instagram, vlogs, yeah. I mean, the word vlog seems really overwhelming to a lot of people. You don't have to produce anything. It's you turn your phone on and you record it. That's your vlog. That's it. And you know, I mean, you could talk about, you know, personal things, but that's not really what it's for. It's for adding value to people.
Yeah, my mother's 88 and she watches cooking and folks doing quilting and putting quilts together and so forth on YouTube all the time, and she follows some of the same people. So she's at 88 is a blogger
That's pretty awesome, yeah. Sandy's mom might follow you.
Has to be good.
She's a vlogger.
Don't talk.
Vlogger,
bad.
actually, yeah.
Did you get it?
That's awesome. I like that. I got it. No one else.
Okay.
I got it. And we can keep talking about videos as well. I'm going to go on to the next slide. There's only a few slides left. Other content that you should consider when building your own personal brand would be a podcast, an ebook, a blog. There's other written resources you can take hold of, and then press releases and other local news outlets. So I'll explain each of these. For a podcast, that again seems overwhelming. Like, what do I have to say? Who wants to listen to me talk about a podcast? Where are these podcasts? And my wife cracks me up. She's like, where are these podcasts you talk about? She's like, I don't ever listen to podcasts. Where are they? How do I get to them? I'm like, they're in Apple. She's like, where? I was like, your iTunes. She's like, how do I find them? I mean, she's so not, she's the opposite of me as far as these things go. She hates social media, the whole deal. But there's an app called Anchor. I would write down Anchor. It's an app in the App Store. I know it's on the iPhone App Store. I'm sure it's in the other one. I don't say its real name because it's not a real phone. But the other one, it's probably in that store as well. Anchor. So Anchor is a podcast platform where you can literally create an account, log in, and start making podcasts. You literally just, and you do it right here. You just talk right into it. And so I have a friend, Drew Bedard. You should look him up. He works at Bristol Motor Speedway, but on the side he does a podcast called Marketing That Works. And I would definitely check his podcast out because what's that? His name's Drew Bedard, Bedard. That's for you, Drew, if you're watching. He's not watching, he's working. It's a great podcast. It's usually 3, 4, 5 minutes long. I mean, you can listen to that in the car driving to, work or to Starbucks or whatever. I mean, it's a really easy listen. And so that's how I would encourage you. I think he's been doing it for about 2 years or more, and he gets about 200 or 300 listens per episode, and that's pretty significant for a guy that's just doing it on the side. It's not even part of his job. He's just doing it on the side just to literally to help people because he's really good at marketing, and he just wants to share that knowledge. And so, one, I would actually listen to his podcast because it would be very helpful and they're easy. But two, use it as a model. I mean, you literally can just create your own podcast right there. So think about what it is that you want to say and then get going.
Create an account on Anchor. Is there a way to put links, like if people are listening? They're going to be listening, not watching, though, right?
They'll be listening, yeah. Yes, yeah, you can link, like where someone can link, it could find you on Facebook and link to your Anchor podcast.
Right.
Yes, yeah, there are ways to do that, and it will allow you to cross promote and have it other places. Yeah. Especially since so much is done on mobile that people can just access it pretty easily. But that I would consider that. And again, just like we talked about earlier with the vlogs, I would list out what are topics that I think my listeners or my audience cares about, list them out, and then do an episode on one of them. And that's a good entry point too. If you're worried about video, start with this, and start doing this first. You can, I don't like the way I sound when I talk. Well, nobody does at all. You just have to do it, And I think it's a great way to get started. The other thing I'll say about that is if you create a video that is, here are 3 things to think about when you're et cetera, like I told you earlier, that should be also a podcast. You duplicate those across all of your platforms, so they have multiple entry points to you, and you are saturating the markets, right? So if you do a podcast and you're talking about, Tim's talking about videos and why live streaming is important and how easy it is and et cetera, and he talks about it for 2 or 3 minutes and that's it, and it's helpful to somebody, he should also write it out. Write the whole thing out, make it a blog post. Then when you're ready and willing, get on camera and just hold it up and just say the same things you said. So now you're literally getting content out all over the place. And that is your goal in marketing for business and for personal brand, is as much content as you can get out right now. It is a content game. and you want to be getting a lot out there. You don't need to worry about people are going to get tired of hearing from you. They're not going to. I mean, they're not. They're not. A blog is easy. Your website may have a place to write a blog, or if you're really trying to separate your personal and your business, then I would start your own. You could use WordPress or somewhere else. It's easy to start a blog, and again, just write it out. I would use WordPress if I were you. It's easiest to navigate.
But Josh, would you suggest if you're going to start something like that to be committed to it, don't start it and then have big gaps in your posting items?
Yeah, I would say it's still better to have some than none, but it is helpful if you do post consistently. Yes, but if you did post one and then a month went by and then you did another one, that's okay. It's still okay. But what you're going to find challenging is you're going to say, okay, I'm going to walk away from this workshop and I'm going to have all this stuff that this guy's telling me I need to be doing, and it's going to be overwhelming. And so what I would do is pick a few and start doing them really well. So if you think I'm going to be better at blogging, then start with that. And if you think whatever you can do consistently, I'm going to be better at doing this right here because I'm lazy and I can more easily just hit it and go, rather than having to sit down and think about get my thoughts and start typing them out. But that's a good question, Sandy. I know what you're saying, and I think if you did 7 blogs in a year, or if you did 57 in a year, I think they're both valuable. But whatever you did do, I would certainly try to keep it. Someone called me again, and I answered it on accident. Wow. That's impressive. I didn't mean to answer it. Other written resources, there's a site called Medium. It's an app as well called Medium. I would encourage you to look at Medium. These are short articles people write, and you can write short articles on Medium and let that be your blog post. I would, unless you're really to dive in with the blog and that's going to be a significant piece of your marketing plan, I'd go with Medium as your outlet for writing. You can.
There's some good content on there too.
There's great content.
And you can say, I think you can choose like the topics that you want to follow on Medium, so that you're not having to read through a bunch of the other stuff. You can say, I want to follow marketing, social media. In your case, it could be writing, author, printing, what have you. And then every morning, that you come with all of these articles that you can read, and you can select them. But great content.
I would go to medium.com, get your username and password set up, then get on your phone, download the app, type in your username and password so you're in both places, and then you could literally write an article, blog post on your phone, typing it in the car, 5 minutes before you go in to a lunch meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do things. So again, it's all about how can I show people that I'm unique, these are things that I know, and this is how I can help you. That's what you think about, and you spray it across all the platforms that you can. And so,
Archive?
yes. Yeah, they'll live there for.
Well, with Medium and Anchor, are those distinct users, or can you only reach the people that use that app?
It's yes, but it's also, it goes back to your own marketing plan. So yeah, you could be on Anchor users can find you on Anchor, certainly. But if you promote your podcast on your Facebook page and on all of your other channels, then they can still listen to you.
And they don't
with
have to
a,
sign up.
correct.
For the new app or
Yeah.
That's always a threshold. Is people are like, oh, it's over here, and it's like, well, I don't have that app.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother going there.
Yeah, to my knowledge, please don't let me speak out of line. You can find out. I'm pretty sure that you don't have to be an Anchor user to listen to the podcast if it's linked from somewhere else. You know what I mean? And the same with Medium. I mean, if you if you Google something, if you're Googling, how to tie a tie, and you come up with a Google search results of all, you may click on one. You click on it, and it goes to Medium. And like, oh, here's someone who wrote an article on how to tie a tie, and it lives on Medium, and you can see it. You don't have to be a Medium user to look at it and read it. And obviously, for have people that have the app. There's a lot of people that have the app more than you think with Medium. So those are things that I would consider. And again, if you're looking at if you're looking at diving in really deep with some of these, if you're like, I'm going to make a podcast my thing, man, I'm going to go crazy with that, you might want to consider, let's get a podcast microphone. Let's try to get with iTunes and see if I can get into podcasting that way. But to me, the gateway is through Anchor, something like that. Same with Medium. I said press releases, other local news outlets, and I think anytime you can talk about what you're doing, I know it sounds like you're glorifying yourself, but I mean, anytime you can send a press release to say, hey, this really cool thing happened that I was involved in, write it up and send it to the press. We sent press releases to all the major outlets when we did the Coming Home film. Before it was even, we showed it in Bristol before we even showed it here. Just the fact that some local guy made a documentary and went to California for the screening and came back was newsworthy to a couple people, and they ran a little article in the paper. Some people saw it. That's good. Anything you can get press covers for that's good like that, do it. Daytime Tri-Cities, WJHL and Johnson, they'll have anybody on. I mean that, and with all respect to them and all the guests, but I mean, they'll have a lot of people. I mean, you just got to reach out to them. So I think becoming pretty savvy with all your local media outlets and seeing how can I get on one of your shows and talk about what I'm good at. Crisis Center would be actually a really good one. Were you? See, very good. See? Press releases, yeah. I think get in the habit of writing a half-page press release and sending it to all the news outlets.
And local radio talk show, the Dave Light Show, good.
Local talk radio, what's his name?
The Dave Light Show.
Dave Light, okay.
Every day at Food City in Kingsport.
Yeah.
He'll take anybody.
See, that's great. That's free advertising for you to be on, these things. And I think you just have to, if you come to them and you show them how you're unique and that you're going to help people. And I can just keep repeating that because I want you to have that in your mind when you walk out here. But how am I unique and how can I help people? They'll want you to come on the show. And they'll want you to submit your things to their organization. So.
And if anybody needs help with press releases, I can do that.
We know a guy. That's right. Absolutely. Because they can, if you're not a naturally gifted writer, it's great to throw it over to somebody that can do it and do it quickly. Yeah. It's worth the money to do that. Absolutely. Ebook, that might be something else that you might be able to do for people because that is, I think, really, really, there's a lot of reasons for that. So let me dive into this for a second. So this is a way for you to, again, assert yourself as an expert in what you do and add value to people. So an ebook, I wrote an ebook, I haven't even published it yet, but I wrote one that has my storytelling formula that I use for producing marketing videos listed out. It's written out, and I dive into it's. There's 4 main parts to my storytelling formula, and I dive into each one and talk about. I kind of unpack each one, and it's 10 pages long, maybe, if that. So it's a short, it's a glorified PDF, right? It's an ebook, and so I think I got a girl from Fiverr. You guys know Fiverr? Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Go there. If you haven't, there's all kinds of resources there. I got a girl from Fiverr to help me write it. I did most of the heavy lifting, but I had her do some of the extra things that I didn't want to have time to do, and I spent $50 or something, and it was easy. And so, but a guy like you might be able to take what people have in their heads and they have listed out in an outline and make it sound really, really good. Because to be honest, she didn't do a very good job, and I had to redo a lot of the stuff that she had done, which was fine. But what you're going to want to do with that then is if you have, for me, I have a personal website. I'm going to put that ebook on my website. I'm either going to do it for free or I'm going to sell it for like $3 or something easy. And it's a way for me to capture email addresses, capture leads, and marketing directors that or business owners that want to know this stuff. They're going to say, yeah, it's worth $3 for me, or it's obviously worth a free download. I'll take it by giving me their email address. And now I've got their stuff, and I can continue to market to them. And so an ebook is a great leveraging tool to use. It also is, you can say, I wrote an ebook about something, and people are like, wow, you wrote an ebook. You must be really, really important. So you write an ebook. And it doesn't take a lot of work. Even if you wanted to have someone write it with you, you could then send it to someone on Fiverr or anybody who could design it. You could probably design it. Somebody could design it for not too much, I would think. So
Kelly Cole was a local
yeah.
person. He was really, really good at doing
Yeah, actually, Kelly would be, Kelly Cole. Yeah.
But Greg, that'd be a good thing. Have you heard of this site before, ever?
No, I haven't.
That's gonna be something too that you could actually, sell your services, because you can have, I've had clients before, they even started businesses that needed logos and, letterheads and so forth designed, and they had somebody in Ireland doing it for them. And it's what it is you're putting yourself out
It's a good
there,
way to have
and
it.
it's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
auction for services, or
Yeah.
how would you, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's like a
like
procurement
a want ad.
website, global.
like a what?
Want ads?
Yeah,
Hey, I'm
I mean,
looking for somebody to help me with this.
that's right. Yeah, and there's people who do all kinds of things on there. All kinds of things.
Voiceovers,
Yeah.
translation services, so if you do a book and you want to have it translated into Spanish or
Mm-hmm.
German, you can find somebody on there to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to find somebody if you did some videos and you wanted those videos transcribed so they could be used as articles. You'd probably pay somebody $5 to transcribe your video into a written form, and it won't be perfect. You then massage it and make it better. But I mean, there's a lot of resources there, and you don't be afraid by you're like, I don't want to do things for $5. Because people do things on there for 50, 100, 200, 500,000. I mean, there's a lot of things on there. But if Fiverr is a great resource for maybe a number of you who do things, I've used it many times, and I would certainly look at that. You as well. Are you familiar with Fiverr? Okay. Do you ever do anything on Fiverr? You do? That's cool. Have you had success?
I haven't done it in a long time.
Okay.
I haven't really pursued
Yeah.
getting good on it or
Yeah.
a lot of revenue from it.
And there's a lot of people that do, it's a side gig, rather just do a few things on Fiverr, some extra money. There are people making a living on Fiverr. So it's just all about how much you want to put into it. From there, I just want to talk about networking. Again, you're the face of what you do. Even if you're not the face of your company, you're the face of your own personal brand. You're the face of you. And so being involved in your local community, I believe, is really, really important. Again, be involved because you want to help people, not just because you want to be somebody who's involved in things, or you want to be, I want to serve on this board or that board, but do something you're passionate about. I serve on the board for the Johnson City Development Authority because I really am passionate about seeing downtown Johnson City revitalized. And so I put my time into that because I love it. And I'm going to, as long as they'll let me serve on that board, I'm going to serve on it because I love it. Has it in turn resulted in me getting other opportunities? Yeah, because that's just what naturally happens organically from just being involved and talking with people. That's not why I do it. And if I didn't get any business from it, that'd be fine because I do it because I love it. Same, I'm on the board of the Dawn of Hope in Johnson City. I have a heart for people with special needs, and so I want to be part of that. I've gotten no work from that, and I don't intend to get any. But my point is, the more you're out there and involved doing things, it's good for you. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your spirit. It's good to get involved and give yourself away. And I'm telling you, it will reciprocate. Absolutely. So be involved in the community in whatever way. Volunteer with the United Way. Do things. The more you do that, the more organically things are going to happen, and you're going to meet people, and you're going to get relationships, and things are going to happen for you. Join a networking group. There are those, I'm sure they're around here, and I know where I live there's a handful. It's just simply a group of business owners or people that come together once a week typically, and their whole objective is to try to get each other business. And so that's a great way to then build your personal brand by being there. And I think a lot of them will, rotate every different weeks. You'll have an opportunity to give like a 10-minute presentation about you and what you do. So those are really good things to do. You can also be invited I was invited to speak at a group I'm not even in. And so, you can go be a speaker at some of these things. Go share what you do. Call up a local Rotary Club or other folks like that and tell them, I have some unique things to share. I'm in a morning Rotary Club in Johnson City, and we need speakers all the time. And they come in, people from all kinds of things, some that seem really important and some that are just regular people coming in sharing what they do. So, again, what makes you unique and how do you help people? And then, host a lunch and learn, teach a class, do things like this. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't gotten some business at some point from doing things like this. I mean, for free. And so just continue to be involved and show people what you can do. That's it for my presentation. I just wanted to give you those things and then see what questions you had about that, what things seem challenging based on what I've explained to you, the videos, the blogs. It's overwhelming, possibly. I don't know. And then maybe I can help each of you individually figure out kind of where you need to go. I think it'll take some processing time. I would encourage you to not walk away from one of these sessions and just take your notes and then never look at them again and you go on about life, but to carve out, if you can carve out 1 hour this week or next week in which you literally sit down, go over the things that I talked about and write out the lists of the things, the topics you think that people want to hear from you, and then the channels you want to start to use, and just pick a couple and start doing them really well. Don't feel like you have to do all of them right off the bat, because then you'll just be like, nah, all the time, and you won't be able to figure it out. So pick a couple you think would be best for your audience, write your list out, and start doing a couple things.
And if you are working on a marketing plan, or you've never done a marketing plan, or it's been a long time, you really should include these aspects in it. What we did 10 years ago in marketing is totally changed now. And these are all important components to put on.
Well, how do you do, if you're doing a video, how do you keep it from being a hard sell at the end? Say I give you three brainstorming tips, how to do good brainstorming for a story idea or for a press release, what you want to cover.
Yeah.
Then you want to close the deal.
Right, yeah.
But how do you avoid being like, oh, it's all
about the sell? Yeah. I think it's totally fine for you to have a call to action at the end of some kind. I don't think that's selling hard at all. But I think you're giving enough value away to say, hey, and if I can help you with that, just let me know. Here's my number. Here's my email. That's, to me, it's a very casual way it's almost when you meet someone and you have a conversation and you're like, I love the conversation that we just had. Tim and I can talk and it's great. At the end, I might say, here's my card. Let me know if I can do anything for you. That's not really a big sales pitch. That's like just doing your due diligence. So I would say, yeah, include the call to action at the end. Yeah.
And what I do with a lot of my clients is I'll ask them to say, for more information, and I'll include the links, click on the links below.
Mm-hmm.
All you're doing is just grab them to the link. That's all you're doing.
Marketing is a funnel, right? And you're going from lots of leads into turning them into customers. And I think you can use personal branding at each of those levels. And so it might be, it's just simply giving tips and here's some things to think about. And that's at the very wide part of the funnel. As people continue to listen to you, you may start getting some calls and getting more interest, and you dive down in there and you invest in your clients, your customers, personally, and bring them out of that funnel as clients. Something I was going to mention, I think it's interesting that some of the bigger name people like Richard Branson, owner of Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records, Elon Musk, owner of Tesla and SpaceX and something else, he has more followers, Twitter followers, than his company does. Gary Vaynerchuk has more followers than VaynerMedia. Richard Branson has more followers than Virgin Atlantic because people connect with people, not with companies. And so unless your name is Apple or Amazon, people want to connect with you as a person, not with your company. And so that's something I would absolutely want to push you towards, is people connect with people. When you do business with somebody, you do business with another person, not with a company. Unless it's Apple or Amazon.
He's got a great marketing thing. He writes it on his back.
Yes, that's right. So all the people behind him can see.
You go to the grocery store with that on your back?
just go everywhere with that.
That's right.
Like Josh said, that's Sandy been shooting in the back. I'm getting some pretty cool listening.
That's right. That's right. Call the video guy. That's right. Hey.
I didn't hear you say anything about LinkedIn.
Yeah, I purposely avoided it.
Okay.
I did. Because I almost put it in there and I was like, I just don't want to dive into it. But if someone had a question, I thought I might mention it, yeah.
Well, I guess my thing is that I have been a tough sell on a lot of social media,
Yeah.
having to embrace it.
I'm really trying. And one thing that I have linked into is LinkedIn.
Oh,
because
boy, that's good.
That wasn't good. But
It was
it's because of the professional feel of it, and
Yeah.
I've been surprised when I do post something there. It's been really cool. But I guess with all of this, I could also post that on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
And yeah, just your thoughts on
I'm glad you mentioned LinkedIn, actually, because I didn't want to. One reason I didn't want to mention it is because I didn't want to overwhelm everybody. But I think that's a really good question. No, you're right, because if you write an article, if you wrote something for Medium and you published it, I would not, for LinkedIn, mainly for LinkedIn specifically, this is going to break, I would not then share a link to your article on LinkedIn. If you're LinkedIn, okay, let me go. You wrote for Medium, you've got LinkedIn over here. Don't share the link to Medium on LinkedIn. Write the blog post again in LinkedIn, right? So it's a native LinkedIn blog. They allow you to write articles on LinkedIn. So I would say that's a great thing to do, especially if you're business to business. If you're business to consumer, it's still valuable. But if you're business to business, that's really, really valuable. And for most of you, for what you do, there's nothing. Most executives and people like that, they're on LinkedIn. You may not be able to find executives on Facebook, but you can find them on LinkedIn. And that's valuable. It's people that you're going to want to hear your message. So I would absolutely write the article in LinkedIn. Use the proper hashtags for what you do, whatever it is that you're doing. Hashtags are important in Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn.
What are some of the benefits to writing it natively over there as opposed to linking it to somewhere you might want to funnel traffic to?
Well, if you're funneling traffic to somewhere else, then there is value to linking it for sure. The main value I see in posting it natively is that people are more likely to read it if it's natively posted in LinkedIn. And it allows you to build up a good stock of articles in LinkedIn, so it adds more clout to you as an individual and as a professional. But there's nothing wrong with doing both, to be honest with you. I mean, you could write it native and post it, and then later go and share the link to wherever it is if you needed to drive traffic to that website. Yeah.
So you can still write the article, copy and paste the article in it, and have a link to the website.
You could, yeah. That's right. Yeah, you could also drive the traffic from the article to the place you want them to go. Yeah. Facebook, if it's Facebook, if it's just shared as a link on Facebook for sure. Otherwise, people think you're ranting about something. If they see a long post alert, and they're writing, you don't want to be seen as that, so you'll want to do that as a link. Yeah. Instagram, you have to. And Instagram, you can't even put links in Instagram descriptions. You have to. You can with. It's getting confused. With Instagram stories, you can do something where you can swipe up and they could go to the page. It's kind of confusing. What I would say is if you've written something on Medium and you want to promote it on Instagram, I would create a graphic that's a square that says, new post, or whatever your topic is. 3 things to think about or whatever, and then put the link to that, where that is, in your bio of Instagram, and say link is in my bio. Then go to your bio on Instagram, click it, and it'll take them to where you want to go. Because Instagram does not allow you to put links in the description. Maybe I'm sure they will at some point. Again, I think the power of your personal brand is strong and needs to be thought out carefully and crafted. I don't want to say more than your business brand, but I mean, for some of us, your personal brand is as important, maybe more important than your business brand. If you're a student, it definitely is. You don't have a business brand yet. Has this been helpful? Okay. Who's more likely to do the podcast? Who's more likely to download Anchor and do a podcast? Anybody?
More likely than before we came?
Yes.
Or than another medium?
Well, then another medium. I'm curious what you guys would be leaning to if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go write some stuff down and consider, what I might do.
Probably audio to start off with.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what's behind me.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I think I'll have to start with the
Yeah.
finance world, a lot of stuff has to be pre-approved and archived properly, and currently there's just not that
Yeah.
capability for what I need. So I think I
Yeah.
have to start going that route, but I would prefer podcasting if I could,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But it's not possible right now.
Could
Yeah.
you do podcasts and just transcribe it to have it archived?
Possibly, but I think right now, no, but it is a possibility.
Once they get with the times.
Yes, yeah.
Could you use Siri on your phone to dictate it for you?
Potentially, a lot of the issues that I run into is a lot of stuff would have to be pre-approved, so even if I did, and then it just has to be archived properly in the way that Edward Jones currently has stuff, the archiving is a little bit behind the times on what we have.
Yeah.
So probably not, because they don't want it out in that forum at all at the moment.
Yeah.
So a lot would have to be written, I have to send it in, get it approved, and then I can post anything. So I
Yeah.
can't just, here, let's do it on the fly.
Yeah.
They say no to a lot of
Okay.
things, which makes it difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Something else for LinkedIn is Gary Vaynerchuk says this, and I don't know if I totally agree with it, but he says do what's called the, I don't know if he calls it the $1.80 plan. I can't do math, so maybe it's the $1.80 marketing plan on LinkedIn, which is you give your 2 cents on 100 posts on LinkedIn, meaning not literal dollars, just your 2 cents, like you're talking. So you comment on, I'm going to try for maybe 10, but as many people as you can on LinkedIn. They post something, they share something, comment on it, and say, well, that's a great post, and give a thoughtful answer. I think there's great value to that, actually. If you're trying to promote yourself, give a thoughtful response to someone else's post. Do that to 10 different posts every day. Oh man, you're gonna see some. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to feel like the post that they gave is validated and is worthy. And if you do that, they're gonna remember that. They're gonna be like, that person made me feel good by posting on my post, comment on my post.
Anybody in here ever did video on LinkedIn now that they're allowing you to stream live to LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can
Anybody
live
done
stream
that?
on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Because I was thinking some of your clients too, for internships, and use some of those testimonials
Mhm.
on LinkedIn would very much focus your reach than putting it up on Facebook or Instagram, and it's just going everywhere. It gets lost in the noise.
Yeah.
Now, the posts that you want to comment on, they need to be kind of in your.
They should be for
potential-
people that you'd like to work with.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm
Mhm.
not going to comment on Tony Robbins. He's not going to care.
Right. He might.
That I posted and I made him feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there need to be people that you would like to work with or that would be potential clients, yeah. Or people that know the people that could be potential clients. I mean, I think, again, it's sphere of influence. You go out, but I think if you do the same person every day, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Get a life.
I'm going for the regular Joe more than the big names.
I think so. Yeah. What other questions or thoughts? I hope at the very least I've given you a lot to think about so you can go back and create some kind of action plan. If you don't go back and create some kind of action steps for these things, they'll never happen. I implore you to look at this stuff from a personal branding standpoint and actually take some steps towards it. And if in 2 weeks you don't see results, don't be like, oh, you're just going to take some time. It takes time. Like anything good, you got to build it over time. So it starts with taking steps. Isn't that right?
That's right.
That's right. Are you coming up here
I'm coming.
to relieve me?
You're doing such a great job.
I'm just standing here now.
Take you on.
I'm
I
just
would
standing
say
here.
if you all are holding yourself back, you can call me and I will coach you through it.
Exactly. He can write for you. He can design for you. Tim can video it. You guys have so much
And she
that
can
you can
tell
do
us.
here.
That's right, and once you make the money, I'll help you out.
That's right.
If you-
There's interns available from
Yeah.
Emory and Henry College.
Help.
If you get in a really tough place, you got the crisis center you can call. When you have your breakdown, that's right. You need to make it look pretty. You got. I mean, yeah. You guys need to. You have a whole business right here.
Announcement.
Yeah. That's your turn.
Thank you
Yes,
to
yes.
the Josh.
I think that's right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Always bring
Appreciate it.
fresh life to us when you come.
Thanks.
Hope you'll come back very soon. I'm sure you're up there.
I might be on the list somewhere. I don't know. Sandy and I are traveling to Wise County next week, aren't we, Sandy?
Yep.
Gonna teach them something.
Okay. Well, big one.
See.
We'll have you
Yeah.
back over there again too.
Yeah.
Sandy, she's always on the go. doing
I know.
something.
See ya.
Hey, also, we've got the surveys. Please fill those out if you haven't. This is good feedback for us, so we know what is going on, what you're looking for. We're getting ready to plan 2019, 2020, the schedules for presentations. We'd like to have your feedback as soon as possible, so we can learn from you what you would like to see later on. So, any questions or anything that we can help you with, we're here is with my partners. We are certainly glad to have you and look forward to seeing you a lot more often. 2 weeks, put this on your calendar. We're going to have employment law. Penn Stewart will be here, so please come back. And as always, thank you for being here.
The number you should circle, I think, is a 10. Is there a 10 on there? You should circle the 10. Or check strongly agree, I think. Is that the correct answer for the...
And a lot of networking today. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Honestly, you guys should be talking to each other about getting some business. Absolutely. And please, those are my handles for social. Do not hesitate to just send me a message and say, I need some help. I'm not going to charge you for my help. I want to give it to you. So just, I need help. What should I do? How should I post this? What should, just ask me. Happy to help.